This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 2, Fake Lich. Um, yeah, sounds like Gadby is taking the front. Give me both a perception and a survival. Unless you're like not really looking out for anything, then just give me survival.
Okay, so here's perception,
Mm-hmm.
which is 17, and survival is 14.
Cool. Um, you see probably about 50 feet in front of you. It
Mm.
looks like somebody purposely made like trenches and filled them up so the path actually narrows. It
Mm-hmm.
looks super suspicious. And then you start seeing figures in the trees.
I'm invisible because it lasts for an hour.
Yeah, okay.
So I would like to. Let me see. What can I do? What can I do? Let me read my doodly dads. Um, how wide is this? Like how long is this path?
So it's basically 5 feet wide, so you guys would have to go into single file, and it's about like 30 feet.
Okay.
It definitely
Um,
looks like a trap.
I would very much like to hide because I know I'm invisible, but as soon as I cast any sort of spells, I know it's going to make me visible. And I know my party is behind me. So I figure I'm going to do something that will distract while the party, comes to the aid. Is there like a tree that I can hide behind that they won't see me if I do a little thing?
Yeah, actually, with your survival check, there is enough. You can identify enough safe bushes and trees to hide.
Awesome. I go into the largest bush to hide me, and uh I start playing on the instrument of illusions, and from where my footsteps were, like there's another footstep and another footstep, and then all of a sudden a person starts to become clearer, and I'm playing have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones with the skin all gone. Ooh, in this like spooky sort of noise, and the steps are like something that's been bloated and rotten, just like appearing, and it's this almost lich like thing, but it looks like something that's been in the swamp for ages. So it's covered in algae, and it's like what flesh is there is bloated and just disgusting looking. And it has a range of 15 feet from where I'm at because I'm a bard.
Yeah. You hear a bunch of crowing as the trees start to rustle, and you can see the figures start moving. There's just suddenly a lot of noise, and suddenly the illusion gets like it starts getting pelted by golf ball sized rocks. It looks like, and some crossbow bolts.
Because it looks like a lich, it's going to float up a bit into the air and start to glow menacingly, and then cackle and fade away.
And right before it fades away, that's when a fireball just kind of, well, not actual fireball, but a firebolt, like flies through the air and tries to hit it.
This is when I regret not picking message as one of my cantrips.
Can me and Ordnance hear any of this going on?
I hope so.
Yeah, it would be loud enough that it would get your guys' attention.
That was the hope.
I guess Lenny also saw the Lich thing, so he's just gonna start running towards it, yelling, "Ooh, something to fight with!"
Yep.
The
I like
biggest
roughhousing.
Yeah, I mean, your friend, newfound friend, Gadby, is nowhere to be seen. But, seemed like they went invisible anyway, so who knows? And there was just this terrifying creature and ghostly singing and, oh, I gotta check something. Because that was...
I'm pretty sure by the time Lenny gets up to it, it vanishes. And he just kind of stands there like, "Oh, it's gone."
Hey, Gadby, could you give me a intimidation roll with advantage?
Oh, sure. Oh, I'm good at intimidating things.
Yeah.
I say when I roll shit.
14's not bad.
I have +5. I rolled a 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's still not that bad in the scheme of things. So you notice, Gadby, that you start hearing whispers coming from the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see balls of light in the distance, and it seems like they're coming closer.
Oh no.
Spooky things, a spooky forest.
Shit. Shitballs. Those can't be the things that chucked rocks at us.
Nope.
Like, Lenny is there. Are they chucking rocks and fire bolts at him?
Not yet. They haven't quite noticed Lenny, and they're probably still a little shaken from a horrible bloated lich thing disappearing.
I'm gonna wait to see if they try and turn Lenny into a pincushion.
Yeah, at this point, Ordnance and Tony have kind of come up behind Lenny, but not right up against.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Lenny stopped, not right where the thing disappeared, but like before where it was, because it disappeared on him. So he's like, "Oh, I wanted a rough house."
There.
Yeah, and I think Ordnance would keep a distance strictly for his ranged necessity.
And Gadby, so I can just have a baseline, could you also roll me... Wait, you're still invisible, right?
No, when I cast a spell, the invisibility
That's
ends,
right.
but I was invisible when I went into the bush.
Yep.
So no one saw me go into the bush.
Alright, could you just roll me a stealth with advantage so I can know some
Please.
baselines here?
Hey, I crit!
Hey, yeah, you are super invisible still, which may or may not
Thank
be a good thing.
Thank you, advantage.
So, yeah, Lenny and Ordnance get closer to this area, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you can see that there are little rocks on the ground and bolts, crossbow bolts stuck in the ground. And bolts?
Multiple bolts.
Yep, many bolts.
Can Lenny make some kind of check to see, like checking his brain essentially, as to what in the forest would be using a tactic like this.
Yeah, you can either roll me a history since you've been here before, or a nature.
Let's go with nature because 17.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a lot of little guys around here that like to ambush. But this ingenuity that they have um aren't goblins, because goblins are more like, they wait until someone's distracted and they just rush in and strike. This might be Kinkus.
Lenny
Cankers.
stares at
Oh,
like everything
no.
around here for a moment, and
You
then
hurt.
oh, and he starts like tapping Ordnance like hard on the shoulder, like he's discovered something. Oh, Ordy.
What is it?
I think this was those bird people.
And then Tony's mechanical ears perk up a little.
Yep.
Yeah, they're about this tall, and they got feathers like all over them. They're weird. That they copy what you say. Very rude.
All right, so can we roll a perception or investigation to look for one?
Yes, please.
Which would you prefer?
They're there, so perception's not really ideal. So investigation.
Ha! I got 14.
Yeah.
I got a 7.
I just picture Gadby in the bush beside them this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's happening. Like, Gadby is in this like nearby bush and watching intensely as these two are like hemming and hawing, and yeah, with the 14, you can definitely see the signs and of something. Like, basically, they're all using like harnesses, and it looks like they literally drop down on people in this kind of, well, once you start looking at it, an obvious looking trap with two water-filled trenches on the side. From your guess and from your history of being, a bodyguard and soldier type, right?
Sure, yeah.
That the water is probably filled with probably some kind of spikes or spears pointed up. So, just a bad situation. And yeah, you can, like, once you start squinting a little, you can clearly see their figures are up in the trees, but it looks like they're semi-distracted and moving to one side of the path, like. And it's not
All
because
right.
of you guys.
Is there a shot at one? How about that? I don't think he'd think too much about it.
Shoot at one? Yeah, I'll say they're in range.
Okay.
Are you?
Well, I've got it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna line up a shot. Try and hit one of them.
Alright, roll to hit. That would be a hit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. 20.
All right, let me
25
see
hits.
here. 20, and then if I. Nope. Hold on. That's not what I'm looking for.
Are you looking to roll for damage?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the chat, just hit the name of the weapon.
The Thundermonger Special, for those at home.
Yep.
Okay. 14.
Click it for both.
Oh, it's only the one shot. Sorry. The second one was trying to do the damage on it.
And just a second, as I realize I didn't have this creature already up in front of my face.
You're right.
I imagine when this thing goes off, Lenny's gonna scream.
Yeah, I mean, what does this weapon sound like when you fire it?
I imagine kind of like a smaller scale thunder wave sort of deal.
So pretty loud, especially if you're standing right next to it.
Yeah.
Ah. And Lenny like puts his hands over his ears. Why you do a sky sneeze right next to me?
I think I got one.
Was your intention on straight up killing it, or just maiming it?
They were setting up a trap, probably killing it.
Okay. Yeah, it tumbles out of the trees, and it has a line on it, so like instead of a satisfying like splat, it kind of like stops all of a sudden and hangs there and just kind of twirls just slightly. And hey, that's the start of an aggressive action. So guess what, guys? We're gonna enter
he's broke.
combat.
Oh, you broke one.
The Kinkos.
Kinkos. Yes,
Kinkos.
let's go get something printed.
Yeah, they start printing banners and putting it down, and it says, "Oh shit." So the Kinkus look like they're slightly panicking.
Fun fact about Kinkus. Even though they don't have a form of normal speech, they can still use sign language.
Yep.
Yep.
And
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all the Kinkus through the trees start moving to your right. And they're trying to get down out of the trees, and I will put them in places where they won't blend in, hopefully. And they look down at their friend who's still hanging there dead, and will take a chance to pelt the three that are in the path.
Well, that's not nice.
Oh, look, more things to roughhouse.
What is Lenny's AC?
16. Why? Yeah, because I add my constitution to it. 16.
Alright. So, and what is Ordinance's AC?
13.
I'm putting my stuff in so that you'll be able to see it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so, they all move to the other side of the path, and then they realize their friend is there, dead, spinning around near the end of the path, and they see the obvious targets who are standing there because Ordnance and Tony and Lenny are pretty big guys, so a barrage of crossbow bolts would be a lot worse. Bolts start raining down, and Lenny, you take a hit for 9 piercing damage.
Ow. Ow.
Ordnance, you get the worst. 2 end up finding your flesh and just hitting you for 18 points total.
Huh.
Ow.
And one of these guys ends up trying to aim for Tony, and he gets a little off balance because, you know, they're all still trying to move and shoot, and we know by video game logic that doesn't work, right? So he ends up falling out of the tree and into the watery pit, and there's a splash, there's some blood, there's a little screaming, all these guys start panicking. And
Is it the Wilhelm scream? 'Cause
Yes.
they can mimic things.
Yep, definitely. It's at least 2 different versions of it. I keep closing the initiative.
Yes, we need that.
Yes, we need that. And you start to see things float into the float toward the path. They are just glowing balls. If you want to know what they are, you can do Arcana or Nature.
Yeah, I don't think a 9 goes.
No, not really. But Lenny definitely knows what they are.
Them are those will-o-wisps. That's what them are. You probably shouldn't touch them. Just saying that.
And yeah, they start coming into the field and looking around.
Mm.
And assessing the situation. You know, it looks like they're just sort of in a state of curiosity and not malevolence yet. And oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm so glad I rolled that stealth at a crit, because there's hanky ghost over top of my head.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.